Discover the heartwarming twist: a bride's incredible journey leads to a life-changing encounter. Mia stood in the middle of the church, her heart racing as the glowing fairy lights twinkled above her like stars in a night sky, the kind of wedding day she'd always dreamed of. The sweet scent of white roses filled the air, wrapping around her like a warm hug. Her friends were nearby, laughter bubbling like soda pop, making the moment feel even more surreal. But behind the joyful noise, a heavy truth shadowed her heart. Her estranged father had reached out after years of silence, begging for a chance to reconnect. Every inch of her thrummed with conflicting emotions. Mia remembered her mother's fierce strength as a single parent, a woman who battled fiercely against the odds, who taught Mia about resilience, love, and family unity. But how could she extend that same forgiveness to a man who had walked out when it mattered most? Her breath hitched in her throat. The neighborhood gossip floated through her mind like songs on a radio station. Would people understand? Would her mother understand? As she watched the floral arrangements being set and the choir practicing hymns, Mia's heart twisted with fear. What if her father showed up? The thought of family conflict not only threatened to ruin her big day but also sent icy tendrils of doubt creeping through her. Was she strong enough to face him? Each thrilling laugh from her friends felt like a reminder of what she had lost, or rather, what she feared she might lose again. She balled her fists, they trembled slightly. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As she walked down the aisle, heads turned with smiles and murmurs of approval, but all she could focus on was the weight pressing on her heart. Memories rushed through her like a storm. Images of her childhood flashed through her mind, her father's laughter mixing with her mother's unwavering determination. And now, here she stood, torn between gratitude for the love she had and anguish for the man who abandoned her. Suddenly, a commotion arose at the back of the church. Her father, disheveled but undeniably there, stood in the doorway, eyes scanning the crowd. Whispers rippled through the guests. Some looked horrified, others intrigued. Had he come to disrupt? Or was he there to apologize? Mia's heartbeat thundered against her chest, drowning out the voices of her guests. In that moment of pure vulnerability, she found herself frozen, teetering on the precipice of choice. Would she stay committed to the love surrounding her, or turn her back on everything she knew to explore the painful ties of the past? The realization struck her with force. Today wasn't just about her vows, it was a crossroads of reconciliation and forgiveness, a canvas for a choice that would echo beyond this moment. She felt raw and exposed, but she also felt a flicker of hope igniting inside, hope that the fractured bonds might still be mended. The crowd held its breath as Mia stood at the altar, the music fading into a nervous silence. She faced the altar, but her eyes drifted to her father. Would she embrace the unexpected stranger or adhere to the memories that haunted her? The answer ignited within her, the road ahead promised a journey more profound than she ever imagined. Mia's heart raced as the silence enveloped her. All eyes were locked on the scene unfolding before them, the bride, beautiful and trembling, caught in a moment that threatened to unravel everything she had built. The rush of emotions swirled inside her like a tempest. To move forward meant spinning in the direction of a confrontation she never wanted. "Is he really here?" a friend whispered anxiously from the front pew, barely audible over the hesitant hum of murmurs that filled the church. Her father stepped further into the light. His face was a mix of vulnerability and regret. He looked older than she remembered, a man weathered by time and the weight of his choices. The room held a collective breath. Mia's world shrank around her, narrowing into the space between her father and herself. "Mia," he called, voice cracking like broken glass. It cut through the tension, pulling her focus to him alone. She took a shaky breath, weighing her options. The love she had for her soon-to-be husband battled against the complex emotions swirling around her father's presence. What if she turned her back now? The thought felt like squeezing the hand of someone drowning. A part of her knew that moving forward without acknowledging this part of her past could leave a wound unhealed. Mia. He pleaded again, taking a cautious step forward. I know this is the worst time, but please. Her heart ached. Did he understand how much he had cost her? Years of feeling incomplete, years of living with an empty space that his absence had carved out. Here he was, asking for forgiveness on the day she had dreamed of since childhood, a day meant for joy, laughter, and boundless love. The silence was deafening. Friends looked on, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern, as if they were witnessing a scene from a movie, wondering how it could possibly end. Mia felt the weight of their gazes, but it was her choice, her moment. Taking a deep breath, she stepped toward her father. Each step felt like a declaration of independence, the kind that shouted she no longer wanted to be bound by anger or fear. She brought herself to a stop just a few feet away. Why now? She managed to utter, her voice trembling as the weight of her question hung heavy in the air. I didn't want this to happen, Mia, he replied, eyes glistening with unshed tears. I didn't know how much I would miss you until it was too late. Could you ever find it in your heart to forgive me? Those words reverberated through her heart. She wished for strength to either forgive or walk away. The world spun wildly around her, but somehow, in that moment, all she could see was the fear in her father's eyes, the longing for a bond lost to time. Mia. The voice of her soon-to-be husband broke through, edged with concern. He was standing just behind her, waiting for a cue, ready to support her in whatever decision she made. The world was asking her to choose. To turn towards her past or lean into the uncertain promise of the future. Mia looked into the eyes of the man who was about to be her husband and felt the warmth of his love, a love built on the strong foundation of loyalty, friendship, and hope. Could she really let go? Could she break the chains of hurt? As time stretched thin, Mia found herself caught between two worlds. A decision loomed on the horizon, one that could bring closure or continue the cycle of pain. Would she stand tall for love, or risk it all for the chance to heal a fractured past? Mia stood there, her father's pleading eyes locked onto hers. Everything faded into a blur, time felt suspended as the weight of his words filled the air between them. The warmth of her fiancé's presence behind her provided a sense of stability, yet it felt like a tug-of-war between two lives she hoped to embrace fully. Why now? She repeated, but the challenge in her voice was softened by the tremor of doubt and curiosity. Every muscle in her body trembled, aching to leap into an unknown. They had both been robbed of years. Should she grasp hold of their shared pain, or protect the love she could almost touch? I know I'm too late, he said, his expressions looser now, lips quivering. But if you could just try to understand. I lost my way, and the loss of you was everything. Lost your way? Mia echoed, the resentment creeping back in, trying to latch a hold. You didn't just lose your way, you left. You chose to walk away. The sting of betrayal colored her words and prickled at her heart once more. Around them, whispers buzzed like the wings of 1,000 restless bees. Mia could feel the attention press down on her, the questions weighing heavier with each passing second. The sanctity of her wedding day felt tattered at the edges. Taking a step back, she glanced down the aisle towards her husband-to-be. His eyes were filled with concern, a mixture of love and fear for what might unfold. It was as if he was waiting to catch her when the inevitable fall came. Mia. His voice was gentle but firm, grounding her. This is your moment. I'm here, whatever you choose. She swallowed hard, debating the layers of secrets and truths that lay beneath her father's plea. Her heart raced with adrenaline, a mix of anger and longing, but above all, a desperate hope that perhaps, just perhaps, this moment could be a bridge rather than a wall. Turning back to her father, she took a deep breath. What do you want from me? Her voice was steadier now, firm in her resolve. I want to know you, he replied, sincerity spilling from the cracks of his long-guarded heart. I want to earn your trust back, to show you that I've changed. I can't promise it'll be easy, but I'm willing to try. Mia searched his face for any hint of deceit, but what she found felt an awful lot like her father's broken spirit, a man who had stumbled and now sought to mend. Tears welled in her eyes as she battled conflicting feelings. You broke my heart, but maybe her voice faltered and the floodgates cracked open. Maybe we can start to heal. With that, the tension in the room shifted. Gasps echoed through the crowd, and she felt her fiancé shift behind her. The ringing of a church bell sounded loud and clear, a stark reminder of the hour. Are you sure? He whispered, now standing shoulder to shoulder with her. We can walk away, Mia. There's no rush. Mia closed her eyes, feeling the weight of all she had to lose. What was she truly willing to sacrifice? Still locked in the physical manifestation of her truth, she realized that love doesn't always come clean and neat, sometimes, it's messy. Let's take it one step at a time, she finally said, determination breaking through the abyss of uncertainty. But I need to know you're truly ready to face this with me. The church fell silent as they exchanged a look, her father's eyes shimmering with remorse and hope, her fiancé's filled with unwavering love. In that moment, she understood that perhaps facing this rift didn't mean abandoning the future. It could mean creating something stronger and unexpected unity. As Mia took her father's hand, the crowd shifted. The future was still unwritten, and she could feel a new chapter stirring beneath the surface. But as she turned back to her fiancé, expecting a bright smile of understanding, she found his expression laced with uncertainty, alarms ringing in his mind. What had she just opened up? The thought sent a chill down her spine, spiraling into the unknown, and she knew she had a choice to make. Was reconciliation worth the risk of dismantling the love she had fought for? In the hush of the church, time seemed to stop. Mia fluttered between two worlds, her father's hand warm and trembling in hers, while just steps away, her fiancé's eyes turned darker with concern. The air shimmered with uncertainty and unspoken words, a thick tension that nearly drowned out the fading echoes of the bell. Mia, her fiancé's whisper was steady, but she could hear the crack of vulnerability beneath it. The crowd was expectant, their murmurs a distant backdrop to the turmoil brewing inside her. Are you really okay with this? His question lingered, heavy and tangible. She looked into her father's eyes again. They showcased a man fighting against years of regret, yet desperate to bridge the gap they had both felt for so long. That desperation tugged at something deep within Mia. I don't know if I'm okay, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. But I think I want to try. I want to see if there's still something left of us. As those words left her lips, a swell of emotions washed over her. She felt vulnerable, exposed, like a tender shoot at the mercy of a harsh wind. But with it came a flicker of hope, the possibility of rebuilding, however small. Her father nodded vigorously, his eyes almost pleading. Thank you, Mia. I will do everything I can to make this right. It won't be easy, but we can figure it out together. The poignancy of his words struck a chord within her, but they also raised a wall of anxiety. Would her father really change? And what of her fiancé? She turned back to him, searching his face for a cue, a sign that he understood her turmoil. But all she saw was fear flickering like a candle under a gust. What if this is a mistake? He asked quietly. His voice, normally so firm, trembled just enough to make her heart sink lower. Maybe it is, she murmured, eyes locking onto his. But isn't love worth taking risks? Isn't it worth facing pain to find healing? He drew a deep breath, trying to gather his thoughts, but she saw them, his conflicting emotions painted across his face like a vivid landscape of doubt and concern. She reached for him, her fingers grazing the back of his hand, hoping to weave some connection through their uncertainty. I'm here with you, he said, his brow slightly furrowed. But it's different now. Your father being here changes everything. That terrified her. Yet, amidst her terror was also a fleeting realization: this was a chance to redefine so much of what she thought she knew about family, love, and resilience. "Mia," her father's plea interrupted her thoughts, "I know I don't deserve this chance, but I will spend my life earning your trust back." A single tear slipped down his cheek, and she felt her own eyes well with unshed emotion. Just then, the church door creaked open, a gust of fresh air mingling with the heavy emotions swirling inside. A child's laughter broke through the atmosphere, a haunting reminder of innocence and joy. Mia looked towards the doorway, and there, illuminated against the light, stood a small girl with curious eyes and unruly hair. She looked like she belonged to no one, yet everything about her was vibrant, alive. She pointed at Mia, her tiny voice clear but muffled by the distance. "Are you a princess?" Mia blinked, the question settling into her heart like a soothing balm. A smile tugged at her lips, and in that moment, the weight of the world felt lighter. "Not really," she responded, her heart shifting perspective. "But I'm trying to be brave." It was like a reset button had been pressed. The little girl's innocent admiration broke through the heaviness of the room, sparking a sense of hope. As Mia smiled, she felt her father and fiancé step closer, the fabric of their shared history beginning to knit together anew. But as the child turned to walk away, Mia felt an unease creeping in. The warm, bright moment was overshadowed by the thought of what would follow next. What would happen now that she had opened the door to her father? And could the purity of the little girl's question lead them all back to an innocence they had long lost? The uncertainty hung thick in the air, fluttering like the wings of a bird ready to take flight, yet still unsure of its destination. It was in that vulnerable space where real change was about to begin. The moment felt like a fragile heartbeat, pulsing softly amidst the chaos of emotions spiraling around Mia. Behind the little girl, sunlight streamed through the stained glass windows, bathing the church in a kaleidoscope of colors. But despite the beauty, questions churned within Mia, swirling like the radiant beams spilling into the room. "Mia?" Her fiancé's voice cut through the moment, gentle yet firm. He reached for her hand, steadying her as doubts flooded her mind. "Are you sure about this?" Mia flicked her gaze between her father and her fiancé, the tension pulling at her heart. She didn't have all the answers. Maybe she was being naive for even contemplating trusting her father again. Yet, the little girl's simple words lingered in her heart, trying to be brave. "I don't know what will happen next," she confessed, her voice faltering. "But I need to take this step. I want to believe in our family again. I want to believe in us." Her fiancé's jaw tightened, wrestling with his own feelings. "You don't have to bear this alone, Mia. Whatever you're planning, just remember I'm here for you." His eyes held hers, a promise swirling within their depths. But something unsaid remained, a hesitation that held them all in place. Mia's father took a step forward, emotion slicing through the tension in his voice. "I understand this may seem sudden, but I'm ready to show you how much you mean to me. I'll respect whatever decision you make, but I can't lose you again." His earnestness shook her. The mix of hope and fear was more than palpable, it pulsed in the very fabric of the room. For a moment, silence enveloped them, each heart beating in a synchronous rhythm of anticipation and dread. A rustle broke through the hush, drawing their eyes back to the doorway where the little girl stood, her head poised as if waiting for something magical to unfold. She peered at them, her face a canvas of expression, innocent curiosity blended with sheer wonder. Mia smiled gently at her, the child's presence reminding her of something pure. "What's your name?" she asked, the words slipping out naturally. "Lucy." The girl beamed, stepping closer, her laughter melodious. "Are you really going to be a princess?" "I think you should." "Maybe," Mia said, her heart swelling. "But only if you'll be my little knight." Lucy's eyes sparkled. "Yes. I'll protect you from everything." In that moment, the heaviness seemed to lift, and laughter filled the air. The adults around her joined in, a rare moment of joy knitting them closer together despite the discord simmering beneath their surface. But then the laughter turned. Lucy's gaze shifted, and her smile faded as she turned back towards the door. "I have to go find my mom," she said, looking back at Mia, her innocent conviction flickering like sunlight. Mia felt the mood shift again, a reminder of uncertainty creeping back in. She understood that Lucy's laughter held a truth, something she needed to remember as she navigated the tangled web of family, love, and forgiveness. "Mia." Her father's voice trembled again, bringing her focus back to him. "I've made so many mistakes. I'm ready to change. Just let me show you." The vulnerability in his plea pierced through her heart. She could feel the weight of years pushing against her, but along with it came a flame of hope. The question loomed, shimmering like the dust motes in a sunbeam. Was she ready to risk heartfelt hopes against the fear of potential heartache? Mia took a deep breath, allowing the warmth of the moment to wrap around her. This wasn't just about her anymore. It was about redefining love in shades unfamiliar but promising. "Okay," she finally said, letting the word settle, its gravity palpable. "Let us start today." As her father's face broke into a tearful smile, Mia sensed the tiny shift that promised change. But as the flicker of hope nudged at her heart, a knot of uncertainty still lingered. Would the bravery she hoped for be enough to hold the fragile threads of her family together? And when faced with the ghosts of their past, could they really forge a new future? With those questions fluttering in her mind, Mia took her first step towards something beautiful yet unknown, not realizing just how much would be tested in the days ahead. The air was thick with a mix of anticipation and vulnerability as Mia stood there, surrounded by the stained glass glow of the church. She could feel her heart thudding against her ribcage, a fierce reminder of the weight of the moment. The decision to allow her father back into her life felt monumental, a mountain she was slowly starting to climb. Beside her, her fiancé squeezed her hand. It was a silent promise that they would face whatever was ahead together. The warmth from his fingers spread through her, but the storm inside her head was relentless. Would she truly be able to forgive? Was this step enough to bridge the chasm that had grown wider between them over the years? "Let us get some fresh air," her fiancé suggested, gently guiding her toward the doors that led outside. The moment felt suffocating, and Mia nodded gratefully. A small change of scenery could free her mind, if only for a moment. As they stepped onto the cobblestone path, the light softened, the world outside bursting with vibrant colors and the chatter of voices from the nearby town. Vendors shouted out, children laughed, and the scent of fresh pastries wafted through the air, but all Mia could think about was the struggle ahead. They walked together in silence, her fiancé's presence calming yet questioning. "You okay?" he asked, studying her closely. Mia took a deep breath, filling her lungs with the sweet air. "Yeah, just trying to process everything." "Want to talk about it?" "I know it's a lot," he replied, his eyes warm with understanding. I want to believe it can work." "But how do you trust someone who broke you?" Her voice quaked slightly as she spoke, the vulnerability dripping from her words, raw and unfiltered. "I don't want to go back to pretending everything is fine. I think this is the hardest thing I've ever done." Her fiancé placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to have all the answers right now. This is a journey, not a sprint. Let it unfold." Mia felt a flicker of hope igniting within her. Maybe she didn't need to have everything figured out at this moment. Maybe, just maybe, she could take it one step at a time. Suddenly, she noticed a little girl in a bright yellow dress up ahead, playing hopscotch on the sidewalk. Lucy. The memory of their earlier encounter brought a smile to her face. What would Lucy do? With her innocence and fearless spirit, she'd throw herself into adventures without a second thought. "Come on, let us join her," Mia said, eager to embrace that childlike joy for a moment. Her fiancé chuckled, shaking his head. "You're certain you'll out-hopscotch me?" Mia laughed, the sound easing the tension she carried. "Watch me." They approached Lucy, who beamed with excitement, her laughter ringing out like music. "Are you here to play?" "Absolutely," Mia exclaimed, stepping onto the chalk-drawn squares, her feet light with exhilaration. As Mia and her fiancé took turns hopping, Lucy burst into a fit of giggles. The innocence of the moment engulfed them, transporting Mia out of her worries. She felt the burden of uncertainty lift, if only for a moment. Then the laughter faded when Lucy suddenly turned serious, her gaze focused on Mia. "Are you going to be okay? You looked sad before." Mia knelt down, understanding dawning within her. "I think I will be. But I need to be brave, just like you said." "Bravery means trying new things, even if it's scary," Lucy replied, wisdom beyond her years shining from her gentle eyes. Mia nodded, feeling the echoes of Lucy's words settle deep within her heart. She could do this. Just then, she caught sight of a figure in the distance, a woman walking towards them, her face partially hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat. But the closer the woman got, the more familiar she looked. The air tensed as Mia's heart raced. "Mom." The single word hung in the air, trembling with a mix of shock and disbelief. What would this unexpected reunion mean for Mia's journey ahead? The woman paused, her features gradually sharpening into focus. Mia could see familiar chiseled cheekbones, the slight arch of her brow, and those deep-set, searching eyes that had watched her every move as a child. It was her mother. The word caught in Mia's throat, and a wave of emotions crashed over her. Was she dreaming? Had years of unresolved feelings come rushing back, the floodgates finally bursting open? "Mia." The woman's voice was soft, almost a whisper, as if she had summoned the courage to say the name she hadn't had to call in so long. Mia's heart thundered in her chest. "Mom, is that really you?" The question felt absurd, but in the face of the woman who had once been her entire world, it was all Mia could muster. She scanned her mother's face for answers, seeking the little girl she once knew, the woman who had been absent during so many key moments of her life. I came back," her mother stammered, fumbling with the brim of her hat, casting shadowed glances at both Mia and her fiancé. "I want to explain." "Explain what?" Mia challenged, the hurt spilling out, raw and unrefined. The words hung in the air, thick with accusation and longing. Her fiancé stepped slightly behind her, sensing the storm brewing, ready to shield her but allowing Mia this moment. The kids playing hopscotch behind them slowly dissolved into the background noise, replaced by the thumping of Mia's pulse. "I made mistakes, Mia. I thought leaving would protect you, but all it did was leave a void you thought running away would keep me safe." Mia interrupted, emotion swelling in her throat. She wanted to lash out, to make her mother feel the pain of abandonment, but the flicker of something else brewed within her. Beneath the hurt was curiosity, a longing to understand. "I thought I was doing the right thing. I really believed it was for the best," her mother said, voice cracking. Her eyes glistened, reflecting the pain of shared history. "I was wrong." Mia felt a strange mix of anger and sympathy surge within her. "And now? You just show up after all these years. What am I supposed to do with that?" "I can't change the past, but I can try to make amends," her mother said, her tone hinting at the sincerity of her remorse. "I didn't realize how lost I'd be without you." Mia swallowed, grappling with the maelstrom of emotions that swirled inside her. Would forgiveness come easily? Or was it yet another mountain she would have to climb? "Mia, listen," her fiancé finally said, bringing a calming presence between them. "This is huge. You don't have to decide anything right now." But Mia found herself pulled closer to her mother, a natural gravity that felt both foreign and familiar. Maybe we can take small steps," she proposed tentatively, surprising herself at the thought. Her mother's eyes widened, glimmering with hope, something Mia hadn't expected to see. "Really? You'd be willing to try?" Mia felt the weight of 1,000 words unspoken vanish, but the uncertainty still loomed. One moments of grief couldn't match years of silence. Just don't break my heart again, she whispered, vulnerable. They shared a look, a fleeting moment where years filled with hurt and regret melded into the promise of possibility. Just as Mia was about to step forward, a sudden shout echoed from the group of children nearby. Lucy's crying. Somebody help. Mia's heart dropped as she watched Lucy stumble, her yellow dress swirling as she fell to the ground. Stay here, her fiancé urged, running toward the commotion while Mia felt panic slice through her. In that instant, Mia grappled with more than just the weight of her family's reunion. A new urgency pressed against her chest, and she turned to her mother, wondering if this moment of chaos was perhaps a chance to rewrite their story together or if it was a warning of unresolved pain yet to come. As she rushed to Lucy's side, a question formed in her mind: was she ready to embrace the past while being thrown headfirst into the present? What would this moment of crisis reveal about her mother, herself, and the path ahead? Mia darted through the lines of children, her heart racing, nerves tingling in her fingertips. Lucy was sprawled on the blacktop, her face scrunched in pain, tears streaming down rosy cheeks. The sight struck Mia like a punch to the gut. She knelt beside Lucy, instinctively brushing back strands of hair from her forehead. Lucy, sweetheart, what happened? Mia cooed, her voice tender despite the fear that gripped her. I fell, Lucy wailed, the words punctuated by dramatic sobs. Mia glanced back, catching a glimpse of her fiancé crouched close by, a protective look on his face. His concern steadied her. There was warmth there, a reminder that they were a team, even amid the whirlwind of emotions surrounding her. Let's take a look, Mia said gently, examining Lucy's scraped knee. It wasn't too bad, just a minor wound. Still, every whimper from Lucy felt like a dagger to Mia's heart. Why did such small wounds lead to such deep feelings? Do you want a hug while we clean it up? Mia asked, and Lucy nodded, not hesitating when Mia wrapped her arms around her small frame. For a moment, all that existed was the sweet smell of Lucy's hair and the soft patter of the afternoon breeze. As she comforted Lucy, Mia felt a pressure building in her chest. She had just taken a moment of calm amidst the storm of emotions surrounding reconnecting with her mother. Wasn't this what she yearned for with her mom? This simple connection, that ability to soothe grief with love. Mia, is she okay? Her fiancé's voice broke in, mingling with the cries of children and the distant laughter of parents. Mia nodded, though doubt flickered in her mind. Could she juggle all this: her mother's return, Lucy's needs, and her own tangled emotions? The thought was dizzying. Lucy just scraped her knee, Mia replied, forcing a smile as she prepared to tend to the wound. But as she rummaged through Lucy's bag for band-aids, she glimpsed her mother watching from a distance. A mix of guilt and uncertainty twisted in her gut. Mia, her mother approached tentatively, albeit awkwardly. Is she going to be all right? Mia's breath caught. You should be here for her. Not for me, she replied, firm but unable to hide the trembling beneath her words. What if I want to be here for both of you? Her mother said, her voice rich with a vulnerability Mia hadn't heard since she was little. A momentary silence fell. Lucy rocked gently in Mia's arms, her sobs fading as she caught sight of the two women. Is Grandma going to make it all better? She sniffed, her innocence drawing a soft smile from Mia. It was a reminder. Lucy saw the world in a way that was fluid and hopeful, untainted by past heartbreaks. Couldn't Mia harness a bit of that perspective? Lucy, Mia said gently, pulling back to meet her eyes. Your grandma is here now. She loves you, just as much as I do. Do you think you could be brave for her? The little girl nodded, her expression shifting from confusion to understanding. Mom, Mia turned, locking eyes with her mother. I want to give you a chance. But it's not going to be easy. Sometimes I'll be angry, and other times I may even just be distant. I understand, her mother replied, hope glimmering in her eyes even as a vulnerable edge crept in. I'm ready for all of it if it means being part of your lives again. Mia let out a heavy breath, some of the pressure easing. There was no clear path forward, but rather a series of tiny steps that could either lead her deeper into the shadows or into the light. Just then, a distant shout traveled through the air, a reminder of the fragile balance they all faced. Mia! Lucy! Come see! Her heart fluttered with anxiety as she met her fiancé's gaze, a question forming about what they might find together. Was this a new journey for their family? Or just another twist in the tangled web of their past? One thing was clear, they were all going to have to face whatever awaited them. And as the urgency grew, Mia realized she had more choices to make. Would this moment emerge as another fresh start or another unexpected challenge? The tension in the air thickened, stirring in Mia a question that lingered: were they finally ready to step forward together, or would old habits keep them tied to the past? Mia glanced at her mother one last time as Lucy's grip around her torso tightened. The little girl's breath evened, holding on for comfort, while Mia felt an unfamiliar softness nearly overwhelm her. Could they truly turn a corner today? Her heart raced with uncertainty as they walked toward the commotion. What do you think it is? Lucy asked, her excitement momentarily overshadowing her earlier pain. Mia shrugged, caught between curiosity and apprehension. Maybe it's something awesome. As they approached the source of the shout, the scene started to unfold before them. A small group of children gathered around a colorful booth, balloons trapped in a tangle of strings, swirling in the wind. An older man, with a big, white beard and a twinkle in his eye, was handing out balloons with an impressive array of shapes, from dogs to swords. Look! Lucy squealed, breaking into a sprint toward the joyful spectacle, leaving Mia and her mother standing uncertainly behind. Mia's fiancé followed closely, a grin lighting up his face as he joined Lucy in the rush. Mia hesitated, battling the urge to cling to her sense of protection, the need to shield Lucy from disappointment or confusion. But this moment felt bigger than her fears. The man waved at her without hesitation, beckoning them over. Come on. There's enough for everyone. She breathed deeply, feeling the warmth of her mother's hand resting lightly on her back. It's okay, her mother whispered, almost as if she was unraveling the tension that had built between them. Let us go, Mia said, pushing down the ball of anxiety swelling in her throat. She moved forward, each step a silent commitment to embrace this moment, messy or not. As they neared, Lucy was bouncing on her toes, her face radiant. Can I get the pink puppy? Of course, sweetheart. Her fiancé chuckled, nodding enthusiastically. Mia watched them, her heart swelling with a bittersweet ache. Was this a glimpse of the family she hoped they could be, one where laughter replaced laden silences and joy outshone past sorrows? The balloon man expertly twisted rubber into an adorable pink pup, handing it to Lucy. You've got a champion here, he proclaimed, and Lucy beamed with pride, her little chest puffed out. But just as Mia began to relax into the moment, she caught sight of her mother, who stood back, hesitantly clapping along with the others but not quite fitting in. It pulled at Mia's heart. Just when she began to think they were making progress, the distance between her and her mother yawned wide again. Mom! Mia called. Come join us. Her mother hesitated, glancing nervously between Mia and the gathering children. I'm okay right here, she replied, but the shadow of uncertainty crept back into her voice. Please. Mia pleaded, meeting her gaze with an intensity that begged for connection. She could feel Lucy's happiness radiating around them, and she wanted to share that light with her mother. Her mother took a small step forward, then another, until she was at Mia's side, clearly journeying to an uncharted territory. What's happening? She asked with cautious curiosity, her eyes glancing from Mia to the balloon man. Come on, let us find out. Mia said, a smile breaking through the remnants of tension. But just as they approached the booth fully, a loud crack of thunder echoed through the bright blue sky, causing startled laughter and chatter to rise before falling silent. Rain began to fall, big drops that quickly turned into a steady shower, scattering families in all directions. Lucy's eyes widened, confusion swirling in the downpour. "I don't want to get wet," she yelped. Mia instinctively swept Lucy into her arms, and she held her tight. In that moment of chaos, she felt her mother stepping closer, moving to stand under the same shelter. "We can find cover," she urged, the panic in her voice barely masked. Mia looked between her mother and Lucy, realizing this was a pivotal moment for them all. "Together," she said firmly, feeling a rush of determination settle over her. "Let us do this together." Just as they bolted for the nearest pavilion, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that perhaps today held more than just raindrops. Unfinished conversations lingered in the air, and this unexpected storm could become the catalyst they needed. Her heart raced with a mixture of excitement and fear. What would happen when the skies cleared? And were they truly ready to face the tempests of their past together, unshielded and vulnerable? As Mia huddled under the pavilion, holding Lucy close against her, the rain poured down like a cleansing deluge. Each drop felt like a whisper, a promise that maybe, just maybe, this would lead to something beautiful. She surveyed her surroundings, seeing families rushing to find shelter, but there they stood, bonded not just by blood but now by shared vulnerability. "Mia." Her mother's voice broke through the sound of rain, gentle yet cautious. "Yes," Mia replied, and she felt a pull of warmth in her heart. It was strange how, amid chaos, there could still be a spark of connection. "What happens next for us?" her mother asked, eyes glistening through the downpour. There was innocence in that question that turned the air electric. Mia glanced down. Lucy had her little pink puppy, oblivious to the storm but wide-eyed with excitement. "What do you want it to be?" Mia ventured cautiously. "I want us to be a family again," her mother said, the words tumbling out, their weight cracking at the defenses Mia had built around her heart. "What does that even look like?" Mia stepped tentatively into this unfamiliar territory. It felt both daunting and freeing. "You missed so much." Her mother's shoulders sagged under that truth. "I know. But I want to be there for every step going forward, if you'll let me." The sincerity in her mother's eyes softened Mia's resolve, revealing the thread of hope that interwove their shared history however fraught. Maybe we can take it one day at a time," Mia offered, her heart racing with the prospect. "Yes, I'd like that," her mother breathed, a smile breaking through the rain as if the clouds were parting. But behind that smile lay years of weight they both felt. The ongoing shower became a backdrop, a cleansing of unresolved emotions that had wrought chaos in their lives for too long. Every drop that splattered against the pavement washed away a little more hardness, making room for something new. "Mia." Her fiancé's voice interrupted again, but this time wrapped in a sense of safety. "Are you all right?" His presence hovered like an anchor, grounding her amid uncertainty. "I think so," she said, eyes flickering with hope as she glanced back at her mother and Lucy, who were now launching into a game of who could jump the furthest to avoid wet socks. Laughter rang out, and for a moment, they transcended the struggles that marked their past. "Maybe this isn't so bad," Mia murmured, unable to stop a grin from breaking across her face. "Life can be messy like this rain, but it brings warmth and new beginnings." Her fiancé smiled, watching the two women in her life. "You're stronger than you know, Mia," he said, his tone assuring as he wrapped an arm around her shoulder. "You're doing great." Feeling buoyed by their connection, Mia turned back to her mother, who was panting with laughter beside Lucy, joy blooming vividly in their expressions. It struck Mia that they were forging new memories, the foundation for a fresh start. Suddenly, a clap of thunder echoed far off, but Mia didn't flinch. Instead, she felt the family we had in that moment. "Listen, this one be easy," Mia began, feeling her heart push out the fears that weighed her down. "But if we're going to do this, we have to be honest and ready for whatever comes." Her mother nodded, brow furrowed but steady. "I'm ready." The storm continued, but in that space, something remarkable happened. It felt like the calm after the storm, and Mia began to believe that they could weave together the threads of their existence more tightly than before. "We'll lean on each other, just like we've always been meant to," Mia said, taking a deep breath filled with promise. Around them, the joyous laughter turned into an anthem of resilience. They danced through the raindrops released from the sky, twirling amidst droplets that mingled together like their stories, often chaotic but also beautiful. Mia felt free, bursting with possibility, surrounded by the colors of life, the struggles, the laughter, and the second chances. This was their moment, this was their journey towards something stronger. In that spirit of connection, Mia realized that the heart of family hadn't just been rediscovered, it had been reborn. Together, they would walk forward, hand in hand, drenched but radiant, unmistakably ready to embrace whatever awaited on the horizon. As the sun peeked through dark clouds, illuminating their laughter, Mia took a step toward the future she had yearned for, a future filled with hope, healing, and love. And as they emerged into the light, one thing became clear: every storm that sought to divide them also gifted a chance to rebuild. Today marked just the beginning of a remarkable journey ahead. It was time to share this moment with the world. Mia smiled, and in that smile, she knew the road would unfold like petals of a blooming flower, one where they would learn together, love fearlessly, and cherish the strides of every imperfect moment that lay ahead. Now, if you've reached this stunning conclusion, it's your time to shine. This is the moment to show your support. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss these exclusive stories that touch the heart. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Every thumbs up helps us reach more amazing folks like you. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this emotional journey. Your voice matters. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Let us spread the love together. Only true fans understand the importance of standing together through these actions. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey.